Hello there, Lulu. Here's my article that I read, and I'm first of all I want to say that I'm sorry that I haven't delivered or handed in the speech earlier, and honestly I don't know why, but here it is, and hope you enjoy it. I read an article by Sonyas called "Money Can't Buy Happiness." And I found it on a website called Scientific American. Did you know that 77%, and on a study, that 77% out of 200,000 students at 279 different colleges and checked off being very well off financially when they were asked about their most important life goals. But what does achieving this goal mean for our ultimate well-being? The Oledic says that money can't buy happiness. But is it really true? To better understand the complicated relationship between income and happiness, Sonia spoke to a very well-educated surgeon. And by the standards of many Americans, he had it all. His long hours was very well rewarded. His wife could enjoy the benefits in life. He owned 2 vacation homes, 2 sports cars, and 1 yacht. And to better, but he still wasn't happy. And I quote, "I had difficulty feeling motivated, and I had difficulty getting out of bed in the morning," Surgeon had said. He realized he had everything he wanted, but it was completely miserable. Why? Studies reveal that although there's a significant relationship between income and well-being, it isn't as straightforward or as strong as we might think. Research shows that as long as our basic needs are met, it's not how we spend our money, not how much we possess, that has the greater influence on our happiness. Sonia also mentions in the article that it's experiences, not things, that makes us happy. And then I asked myself, why are experiences superior to possessions? First, most possessions don't tend to change once we bought them. An experience could actually, for example, be bungee jumping, or buying, or a thing could be a cup of coffee. And once we bought something, for example a cup of coffee or new jeans or a t-shirt, it doesn't take very long time because until we're eager to replace them, and we think that, oh my god, that those jeans have been there like forever. Whereas experiences can actually grow even more positive and more enjoyable as time passes. A wonderful weekend or conversation can become burnished and embellished in our memories and brings happiness every time we revisit them in our mind. She mentions an additional strategy for buying happiness is to spend money on others. And this picture, if you ask me for a $5 or a $5 note, you can have one. It's a bit bad example actually, but I didn't find a very good picture. But it means that if you ask him for something, he might give it to you, and then you get happy for you got something, and he get happy because he gave you something. Anyway, so instead of being antisocial with your money, she says that you should start being a bit more pro-social. So she made an experiment when she went out on the street and asked a few people if they wanted to join in an experiment. If they wanted, she started to ask them a question: how happy are you right now? And they said a number on a scale between 0 to 10. And then she gave them an envelope, and in the envelope there was 2 things. First, there was a few bucks, approximately $10. It varied a bit. But there was also a note. And on the note, it either stood spend the money on yourself or it stood spend the money on someone else. So she said by 5 p.m. today you should have spent the money on someone else or on yourself, depending on your note. She called them back later, 5 p.m. And asked them what they spent the money on. And in general, people who had got the note spend the money on yourself have spent the money on, for example, a cup of coffee or maybe paying a bill. But if you had got the note spending money on someone else, you maybe have given away a cup of coffee and given away a hot dog. It didn't really matter what they gave away. And then she asked them, how happy are you right now? And in general, people who had spent the money on themselves still was at the same level as they was earlier that day. But if you had spent the money on someone else, you had increased your happiness level. So she came up with that if you spend money on yourself, nothing happens. If you spend money on someone else, you get happier. Pretty simple. A highly rewarding way to spend our income is to use it to buy ourselves more time. For example, doing different activities which include the kinds of need satisfying pursuit we need in life. For instance, connecting with friends, socializing at parties, consuming art, and listening to music. And tellingly, these are precisely those things and activities that people on the brink of their death report wish they would have spent more time doing in their everyday lives. And I found a quote that one regret, dear world, that I'm determined not to have when I'm lying on my deathbed is that I did not kiss you enough. A bit cheesy, but I think you get the point, that you need to, it is experiences and things like kiss someone or say you love them that you wish that you'd done more in your everyday life. Finally, the key to buying happiness is not how financially successful. The key to buying happiness is not how financially successful we are, but what we do with it. It's not how high our income is, but how we allocate it. That was my speech, or should you say. Hope you enjoy it, and see you next week. Bye.